Hey guys, it's Karen. Today I'm doing a review of the MAC Fluidline for brows. Fluidline, I think that's what it's called. I've got the actual description here. But before I do anything else, I want to do the swatches because otherwise I'm going to forget what order I've got them in because I've already put them on my hand so that you can see them. What I might do is take a photo of them and put that at the beginning. But then saying that, I'd have to try and write the labels on. If I can manage it, I will put a picture in with the different labels on at the end, or I'll do another one and put the colours together, something like that. But I wanted to show you the swatches just now because I've compared the colour with a lot of other things. So we'll talk about the colour first and then I'll just read you what I've got down on my notes here. So the first three colours I've compared it to are pencils, and it is the Clinique. This is the Superfine Liner for brows. This one is in... oh, it's not got the numbering. Yes, it has. 02 Soft Brown, then MAC Fling and MAC Lingering. So this is the number 2 Soft Brown from Clinique. This one is the Fling and this one is Lingering. I will do a close-up for you in a moment. Then I've got the Fluidline Brow Gel that I've got, which is the Fluidline Dirty Blonde is the colour. Looks like that in the pot. Again, I'll show you a close-up in a second. And what I've done is that's the swatch of it kind of sheared out, and that's it built up a little bit because obviously there's a range of colours that you can get from it there. Above it is the Aqua Brow in 15, again lightly and built up. The Aqua Brow in 20. Then on the top there is the Laura Mercier Soft Definer, or Definer in Soft, Brow Definer in Soft, and then the Anastasia Dip Brow, again lightly and built up. So I'll do a close-up of those colours for you now. This is the Clinique in 02 Soft Brown. This is MAC's Fling. This is MAC's Lingering. This is the MAC Fluidline Brow that I'm talking about today. Both of these little swatches are here, and it is in Dirty Blonde. This one is it kind of sheared out, and this one is it built up a little bit more. Then in comparison, above it, which I've put this one above it because it's the closest to it, is the Makeup Forever Aqua Brow in 15. Again, kind of sheared out and then built up. And then here, this one used to be my favourite. Well, it is still my favourite, but it's just a tad bit dark for me, is the Makeup Forever Aqua Brow in number 20. And you can see this one's got more red in it. And again, these two, this is the MAC Fluidline, this is the Makeup Forever Aqua Brow, look the same, but actually the Aqua Brow is a little bit... the MAC one, yeah, the MAC one, it doesn't look it here, but the MAC one is a little bit darker, ever so slightly. And then at the top there, you've got the Laura Mercier, which was very hard to get a swatch of in Soft. And then this is the Anastasia Dip Brow in Auburn, so that's more like the Makeup Forever one in 20, in that it's got that red in it. This would be perfect for me, this Dirty Blonde, if it had a little bit more of red tone in it, but it hasn't. I think it's more neutral. It's not as ashy as I thought it was going to be, but neither is it got any red in it at all. So, okay, so now I did it a little bit backwards there, giving you that first blast. I didn't want to forget the colours, and hopefully that gives you a good idea. So let me read my notes, what I've written down, what their claims are, etc. It's called the MAC Fluidline Brow Gel Cream. The colour I have got is Dirty Blonde, and this is what it looks like. This is one of 3 colours. They've also got another one that's lighter called Redhead, which initially I thought that might be the one for me, but it is extremely light. You would need to be strawberry blonde to use that colour. Then this one is the middle colour, Dirty Blonde, and then there is a deep dark brunette is the 3rd colour. The cost is £15 and you get quite a good size there. It's just the same size as their Fluidline for eyeliner. So let's look at the claims. It says it's a long-wearing waterproof gel in a pot. I did find it to be long-wearing. I haven't tested out the waterproof claim, but it was definitely long-wearing. My brows looked exactly the same at the end of the day as they did in the morning. And I do kind of have a habit of touching my face a lot, but I probably have learned to avoid my brows, but it definitely didn't move during the course of the day. In a pot for giving precise definition to brows. Yes, applies smoothly. It really does apply lovely and smoothly. Great texture to this. Sets quickly for the ultimate well-groomed brows. Yes, it does, again, set pretty quickly. I would say it is the same as the Anastasia Dip Brow, actually. Fills, lengthens and shapes. Yes, it does all of those things for a subtle to dramatic looks. The only thing about that, I would say it's quite difficult to get a subtle look with a cream such as this, or I certainly struggle to find that, but that may be because I have missing hairs in the middle here. I don't have hairs on my whole brow, so I'm not just filling them in, I'm actually having to create the shape of a brow. In my notes, I've put it kept my brows in place. There's a good setting time in that it's not too quick. You've got time to, you know, mess about with it before it completely sets. But there's only a few colours. That's the notes I've got. So like I said, I think the texture is actually a lot like the Anastasia Dip Brow, although maybe ever so slightly firmer. I don't know whether you'll be able to tell next to each other. But if I press this, there's no indent, and this is what I get on my finger. It's kind of like the eyeliners actually. But then with the Dip Brow, if I press my finger in, I get more product on my finger. Can you see it's a little bit thicker, but a little bit more malleable? You can kind of move this around, whereas the other one is a little bit firmer. But actually using it on a brush, they both feel the same. When it goes on to your brows, they both feel exactly the same. I prefer this pot because this is, to me, is just too big a pot. Although I think, let's have a look at what you get in each one. 4 grams in this one, 3 grams in this. So you do actually get less in the MAC one. But I actually prefer a smaller pot, you know me. The Anastasia Dip Brow is going to come out with new colours, I am led to believe. I've searched the web and I can't find anything on the web. It's just somebody told me that they had heard that, and then somebody else confirmed that. So I'm assuming it's true, and I hope they do. And if they do, I will be still looking for the perfect colour, if you like, because this one for me hasn't been the perfect colour. But what it is the most perfect colour I've found to date. The Aqua Brow for me in number 20 is what I love the most, but I can see when I'm watching my tutorials and videos back that it does look a little bit harsh because it's dark. However, my brows are fairly dark, but they do have red in them, and this has red in it. This Dirty Blonde, as I think I said, it doesn't, to me, have any red in it. I've heard it described, or read it described as having ashy tones, and I don't think it does either. I think it's quite a neutral colour, and I was surprised at how well it went on my brows because, like I said, I've got red in them and they are quite dark. But when I was in MAC doing the swatches, I thought, no, that's never going to work. And I actually went in with swatches of the Aqua Brow, the 2 Aqua Brows I have on my hand. And like I said, it's swatched more or less the same as this, but putting it on, I just feel like it's much more of a match for me. And I think this could work for quite a few different people. So the brush I used with this is the LY37 from Louise Young, and it looks like that. I did try it with the MAC 208 and it was pretty good with that, but for me that one is not very thick, but it's not as thin as this one. This one is thinner, it's a thinner brush, so it just works better for me because I've got to draw in that inner part. So you could use the MAC 208, you could use the Anastasia 12 brush. I haven't tried that one yet, but I think again for that, for me, this is the best brush to use, it's the Louise Young LY37 brush. So I hope that was useful for you. I think I've told you everything. I feel like I've been a little bit brief and missed something, but that's maybe just because I'm not used to doing short videos. So if I have missed anything and you've got any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer it. This is going to be my kind of number 1 product, this Dip Brow, now going forward. And actually, I'm going to now have a clear out of everything I've got and leave myself with only a couple of things because, for example, this Laura Mercier Brow Definer used to be my favourite, but because it was the only formula like this, there was nothing else that was in this kind of cream formula, you know, until the Anastasia Dip Brow. And I tried eyeliners and I just couldn't get the right colour. But this is too firm for me. It's very, very hard for me to get any pigment from this. So I'm not going to keep this one. I'm not going to keep the Clinique Superfine Liner in Soft Brown because this one is, I don't know whether you'll be able to tell from there, but it is a little bit too ashy for me. MAC Fling is too light for me. MAC Lingering I do like, and I am going to keep that. The 2 Aqua Brows I love, and the Anastasia one I love as well, so I'm keeping those. But I found that powders just don't work for me because of that lack of hairs. I can't get the precision that I need with the powders. So the people that may have the same feelings as me about this will be people that are struggle to find something for their colour. If you've just got dark brown eyebrows, it may be easier to find something for them, but maybe if you've got my colouring, it might be more difficult. And also people that, like me, are missing a few hairs and need something to kind of draw on the hairs but not look too ridiculous. So thanks so much for joining me today. Let me know if you have bought this, if you've bought the Anastasia one, which one you prefer, and if anyone knows anything about the new colours from Anastasia, then please let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to know. I'd love to have an idea of what the colours are, and I'm definitely going to buy one if there is one that looks suitable, which I'm sure there will be. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Okay guys, so as you can see, I have got one eye makeup done because I'm about to do a tutorial for this eye look. So I'm going to do my brows, and I am using my Louise Young LY37 brush, which looks like that. It's quite, it's not a soft brush by any means, but it's not as firm as the Anastasia 12 brush, for example, that comes with a dip brow. Or I've got another LY, I think it's the LY31 perhaps. But I think that this one is the one that works best for me anyway. But this is what it looks like in the pot. This is the dirty blonde colour, obviously. And you can see I've done one eyebrow. So I guess very close up, you can see, you know, that this is not my eyebrow. It's not looking natural by any means, but I really like it. And I think it's the closest match I've found so far. So you can see how much I've used, not very much at all. So I'm just going to go in and put some on this brush. And then get a mirror in place, which I haven't done. And then, as always, I just start from the lowest point here and just sort of press it to get the start of that line. And I'm not really putting very much at all at the end. I'm just putting whatever's left on my brush. The rollers are kind of getting in the way, because I don't feel like I need any filling in here. My brows are quite thick here. It's just this bit here that there's no hairs and that I need to fill in. So I've done that lower line. Then I'm going to go back in, just pressing very softly on this because it's quite a firm cream. And then I'm going to go on the top and again just press and get that line on the top. And then whatever's left on the brush there, I'm just sort of bringing down to the rest of the brow. And then I'm just going to take the brush, turn it round and just again press to get that line there. And then, so you can see I actually only went into the brow cream a couple of times. And this is a little bit, it's a firm brow cream, but it's not as firm as the Laura Mercier one, if you've used the Laura Mercier one, which I don't think that many people knew about, to be honest, but I used to love that one, but it's just a little bit too firm and you can't really get much on it. I think it's great for filling in, but it's not great for actually where, like me, you haven't got any hairs on your eyebrows.